Hey folks, it's comment answering time again, and I apologize in advance. I'm a little under the weather, so my voice sounds a little funny, or if my cognition seems diminished, or if I have to turn and call from it, I apologize in advance. A lot of you may know this. I figure most people that are watching this, if not all, are going to be regular subscribers, regular viewers of the channel. But we had our biggest video this week. It's the first time hearing Gordon Lightfoot, Record of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is a fantastic song. And we had shot this 5 weeks ago, maybe almost 6 weeks now, and it was blocked on YouTube worldwide. We just got it cleared, I think it was last week, so we set it to post Tuesday afternoon, and Tuesday morning Gordon Lightfoot passed away, which is just a terrible deal. And I think most people that watch the channel know that we didn't release that video to try to capitalize on somebody's death, because that's not something we do on this channel. But it did come out, and I use the term irony but not coincidence. I'm not a big believer in coincidence, although that's another conversation for a video on another channel. But anyway, video came out. The response to it has been incredible. My biggest regret is not having checked out Gordon Lightfoot before now. It's just one of those artists that I miss. But the video has done well. We've gotten so many comments, so much information about Gordon, and I've already seen some of them, so I'm not sure. Some of these that are comment monitors compiled I may have already seen, because I've just been on YouTube checking metrics and stuff last couple of days, and I have seen some. I have responded to some. We did have a few negatives. We don't get a lot of negatives on the channel. Still really didn't in terms of percentage on this video, but just because it's been so huge, we're almost at 13,000 views in 48 hours, which is really big for our channel. I realize it's not that big for a lot of folks, but I went ahead and responded to some of those negative comments, and nobody's responded back. And that's fine. I love having conversations with people, even if I don't agree with them. And I've had some good conversations with negative commenters on the channel. But probably from here on out, I've actually thought about doing like just a general negative comment response video, because most of the negative comments that we do get on the channel, they're the same type comments that can be responded to in the same ways. So thought about doing just a negative comment response video posted in the description of all our videos moving forward. And if somebody does drop some of these same criticisms that we hear all the time, just respond with a link to that video. If they don't go watch it, well, we tried. But anyway, we're going to jump in. I'm not wasting more time here. I'm literally looking at a Word document of 10 pages worth of comments that our comment monitor has pulled. It was 12 this morning, she told me, and I was like, we got to slim that down, because I don't have the time, unfortunately, to go through all of them, because we literally got hundreds of comments on just that one video. So here we go. We're going to kick off. This is our suggestions. We're going to do those first. This is Victoria Hellman on one of our Bruce videos, not sure which one, suggests Stolen Car, and I see the sun is rising and getting a little glare on the camera here. I apologize for that. Victoria Hellman says Stolen Car, there's two versions of it. They are both good. I will definitely get to those. Queen Shelley, Chelley, on our Marcelito Pomeroy video, says you can also check out Morissette Ammon. I've got that on the list. Carol Burnett, one of our regular viewers on our Home Free American Pie video, suggests watching the documentary on the American Pie song Paramount Plus called The Day the Music Died. Thank you, Carol. I think our comment monitor already told me about this suggestion. I didn't know who it was from. But as soon as she said this, I was like, I think it was on this on this set of videos here. It's been the last couple of days. Anyway, I think that's a no-brainer. I've got to react to that. And I may do that next week if I'm able to screen capture, find some way to get the video on the screen for folks to watch along as I react to. It's a little bit trickier with film. Eric Potter, another regular viewer of the channel on the American Pie video, says, if you want to hear more Chance's voice react to Home Free's cover of Some Girls Do. Okay, I hope to get to all the Home Free, but I actually haven't heard of that one, so this will be the first time that's suggested. Try to get that on our Home Free poll, which is how we're choosing which Home Free songs to react to next. Andrea Hamilton also recommends Some Girls Do. It's nice. That's the first time I'm hearing of this one that I remember. M. Jackson suggests check out Chance singing lead Born in the USA. Yeah, it'd be a perfect mashup of Home Free and Springsteen. I'll probably put that on a poll coming up very soon. Marielle Sweden replying to that comment says, I was just going to suggest that one. Chance also plays guitar, so it's not 100% acapella, and that's perfectly fine with me. I love acoustic music. I've seen him play guitar with Hound the Fox. Anita Paulus says, collaboration with Kenny Rogers, Home Free collaboration with Kenny Rogers, Children Go Where I Send Thee. I have seen that video floating around, haven't watched it yet. It will definitely get on the list. Bella1114 says, check Mayday. Actually already did a video for that. It's currently not available on YouTube. We hope to get that back up soon. We're in the process. Every week we appeal Home Free video that had been previously up and taken down for copyright reasons, and it takes about 7 days to clear, and we are able to get them back up. So that one I hope will be coming back up next. Also, Bella also says, my church for more Chance. Okay. L or Ale, not sure, Barajas or Barajas says, gotta react to Metallica 1. I'm not sure what video that was on. Okay. Lori Toigo, looks like, on an Avi Kaplan video says, a couple other songs by Avi is Black and White video of I'm Only Getting Started and All Is Well, 7 Layer Sessions, One More is When I'm a Fool, also at Sunset Sounds. Thanks so much for reactions. Love your commentary. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate that. And yeah, I hope to get to all of Avi. Really, it's been one of my favorite artists that I didn't know outside of his work with Pentatonics that I've gotten into here. Gordon Lightfoot. A lot of people are suggesting if you could read my mind and or Sundown. And yes, Sundown has got to go. I actually was talking to our consultant producer, Kyle Graves, and he actually is familiar with Gordon Lightfoot's material, even though he's quite a number of years younger than me, which is kind of funny. And he told me, he said, you got to react to Sundown ASAP. So what we're trying to do, we've been trying to get him in front of the camera for a while here, but scheduling has just been terrible. But I hope pretty soon we're going to be able to do a filming session with Kyle in front of the camera, and he's going to introduce me to this Gordon Lightfoot song. I hope to get that up pretty soon. Several people suggested Gordon Lightfoot's Canadian Railroad trilogy. Dave and Tunes said try anything off first Gordon's Gold double album. Dale, and it was a little typo that I was trying to figure out exactly what was said there. Dale Stockman on the Gordon Lightfoot video said, if interested, Rick Beato has a very good commentary, good summary of Gordon Lightfoot's work, and you got a link. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate that. I actually saw that as a suggestion. I'm subscribed to Rick Beato. I love Rick Beato. As a matter of fact, we dropped a video yesterday that I shot, I think, Monday or Tuesday, that is me reacting to Rick breaking down the Ed Sheeran, Marvin Gaye lawsuit, even though, from my understanding, it's not actually Marvin Gaye's estate that's suing. But anyway, yeah, love Rick Beato. I will check that out. Might even do a reaction video for that one, for Rick's tribute to Gordon Lightfoot. Lori Logan recommended Gordon Lightfoot In the Early Morning Rain. Mr. Riso Maker on, I think this is a voice play video. There's a little code here from a comment monitor, not 100% sure. Says, strongly recommend you do a reaction to High Ren by the artist Ren. I think that's been suggested. His back catalog is incredibly diverse, but High Ren is a great jumping off point to his talent. You won't regret the promise. Okay, we'll check that out. On the Home Free American Best, all the suggestions looks like Home Free American Pie video, Brenda Sorensen, great viewer, regular commenter on the channel. Fun fact, McLean invited both Home Free and Weird Al to the little ceremony when McLean received his Hollywood star. Nice. Weird Al for his parody of Bye Bye, this Anakin guy, for those who don't know. Also, and I don't know that one actually. That sounds really funny. Also, speaking of Weird Al, I thought about doing a film reaction to Weird, the biopic, the Weird Al biopic. If that'd be something that anybody's interested in, let me know. Also, Adam got quite lightheaded from the length of beatboxing he did. Kevin Clements, another regular viewer of the channel, says, "Hey Cole, Don approached them to do a 50th anniversary tribute to his most iconic song, the song of my generation." This is great. I didn't know this. I didn't know that he approached them. That's fantastic. When this was released, I was in 6th grade at Everglades Elementary here in Miami, Florida. It was originally released on October 24th, 1971, but Don and Home Free released their cover on February 3rd, 2021, which was the 67th anniversary of that infamous plane crash and was the day the music died, February 3rd, 1959. Home Free has said it was such an honor that he picked them and trusted them with his song, and they don't hide that when they talk about it. They know the significance in history of this song. Yeah, that is some great info because I did not know this. Elizabeth Ross and Trazi Taj and RichB313 also mentioned that this was done for the song's 50th anniversary, so thank y'all for that. Irish Shell says, "Oh my word, been waiting for your reaction forever." Many, many thank yous. Love leather jacket, great color, LOL. Thank you, Iris. I appreciate that. And yeah, Home Free in general, we've been kind of waiting until we can get all this copyright stuff cleared. And now that we know that we're not going to get, let me move my camera here just a bit, see if we can get, it's not I'm not really sitting at a good spot here, am I? Sun coming in. Maybe if yeah, I just cut off the top of my head, I suppose. But anyway, we originally were just so scared that we were going to get a copyright strike with this Home Free stuff when we started getting the Orchard demonetizing the videos, so we'd take them down. But once we realized that, hey, we can appeal this in about 7 days, the Orchard will just ignore it and we'll win by default, we've started filming these and waiting for all that to process to get them up. So yeah, we finally got this one up, and I love reacting to it. It was a great song. And thanks for the compliment on the leather jacket. Penny Garrity, another regular viewer of the channel, says it said that Adam recorded his percussion in one take, 6 or 7 minutes, and was so lightheaded when he finished they thought he was going to pass out. By the way, you're one of the few reactors who noticed Adam wasn't in the very beginning of the song. Wow. Mary Wright, another regular viewer of the channel, says, "What a good reaction, Cole. I never knew that about George Jones. I believe they were using the proceeds to help support musicians and venues that were suffering during the COVID lockdown. Home Free is up for a second Telly Award for their collab with Mark Willis for the song Don't Laugh at Me." Nice. Gotcha. Appreciate that info, Mary, and thanks for the compliment. Nancy Holter, another regular viewer of the channel, says the link for the original video isn't to this one. Uh-oh, must have grabbed the wrong link whenever we were setting this up. Apologize for that, but I'll go in and fix that. Thanks for letting me know. The fundraiser was for NIVA Emergency Relief Fund. The National Independent Venue Association works hard to raise money to fund emergency grants for independent music venues and promoters so that 2021 does not become the year stages die too. Thank you for that information, Nancy. I appreciate that. Baby Fry, another regular viewer of the channel, says, "Don sounds great for 75. This was during COVID, so I thought the boxes were clever. They remind me of shadow boxes you keep your memories in. Boys are sounding great. Good reaction, Cole. Thank you, Baby Fry. I appreciate that." Margaret Scott, another great viewer, one of our patrons on Patreon, says, "This song always gives me chills, makes me cry. It came out when I was in high school. Was so happy to see Home Free and Don McLean collaborate on this anniversary tribute. Thanks, Cole, for the reaction, some additional background." Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate it. Ryan, once again forgot to mute my computer audio, so if I got a text message, it wouldn't ding. Apologize for that. Ryan J says, "Cole, you look so much better with your short hair. Short hair." Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. You know, I do like the longer beard and the longer hair in the winter for at least for warmth purposes. It really helps me stay warm in the winter outdoors. But yeah, the shag look, that's it's not for everybody. Eric Zeichert says, "Don's other hit was Vincent, aka Starry Starry Night. He also did a Chinooka song called Dreidel He still tours regularly and made a stop recently in my hometown, Wisconsin. Nice. And somebody recommended, one of our patrons and regular viewers recommended Vincent, and I'm going to put that on a poll. I might put on this week. I got so many. We only switch out one song a week on the polls. I got so many. KMW Wrench, another great viewer of the channel, says, I grew up just outside of Fargo, Bobby V's hometown. I was not quite old enough to be aware of the local music scene when the plane crash happened, but Bobby was a big deal when I was in high school. Always liked his voice, and this song, of course, came out when I had recently graduated from college. It was everywhere all the time, although some radio stations played a shorter version, which always irritated me. Yeah, I never really caught all the lyrics to this version due to Home Free's always excellent pronunciation. What an amazing collaboration. 100%. Rod Connor, another great viewer of the channel, says, Cole, one of the most iconic things of this collaboration, Mr. McLean never recut American Pie, although suggested 1,000 times over till this point, asking Home Free to join him. Yeah, that says something. That's a testament to Home Free's prowess. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I can't imagine the awe and absolute honor these gents felt, huh? And boy, did they ever do Don in this song justice. 100%. Also, there is a behind-the-scenes vault on the meetup and such. I think it was the one with the 1 million sub plaque. Be safe. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that information. Debbie Sorrentino says, you left out Dion DiMucci, who passed on the flight after winning a coin toss because at 36 it was what his parents paid for a month's rent. Wheeler felt bad for years. His buddy told him he hoped he would freeze on that bus, to which he replied, I hope your old plane crash. Yeah, I hesitate to say this. I don't want anybody to steal the idea. I've actually got something in mind. I'm a huge, I don't know what's the right word, I won't say aficionado, but this story is so important. It was such a tragedy. It was so important, and it sent ripple effects, and I mentioned this in the reaction video, throughout the music industry and affected so many people who would go on to become really big musicians. And yet, Dion, here's the thing about Dion, though. There's actually a discrepancy of whether Buddy ever offered him a seat on the flight or not. Dion said he did and turned it down. Waylon and I can't think of the other musician, Buddy's other musician. The drummer was in the hospital, so his other musician, the other guitar player, they say that Buddy offered it to them. He didn't offer it to any of the other guys, and Dion said that he did. So I don't know, but that is what Dion said, that he was offered the ticket by Buddy, and he passed on it because it was the same amount that his parents were paying for rent. Bill Freeman says, there's even more emotion for those of us who remember the artists in the plane crash. I was just 10, but I was aware of all of them. I always interpret the girl who sang the blues as Janis Joplin, but Don is cagey about the imagery. Gotcha. Aaron S. says, I've heard Big Bopper singing White Lightning. My dad was a fan of his and had introduced me to him singing Chantilly Lace. I'd be interested to hear Tim or Jeff cover some of his songs. In fact, the groups could do something with Buddy Holly too. 100% agree. That would be amazing, particularly to hear Tim or Jeff doing a Big Bopper song. On Jeff's Sound of Silence video, Eric Demio says, I can actually sing this and match Jeff note for note. Just learned how to hit F1 this week. Congratulations. It's like having a new toy. LOL. Love the country twang, buddy. Tennessee. I appreciate that. Close. I am from Mississippi, and I'll probably either go respond to this directly and let you know that since you asked that, where I'm from, or get our comment monitor to go respond. But I appreciate you checking out the channel, and congratulations on that F1. On our voice play triple feature, and I think I can pull my computer back a little bit with the sun's gotten high enough. Tamalama Z says that's where they left it, and yeah, J Nunn was the one that hit that high so well. Yeah, that was some questions I asked in the video. Karina Rodabot, Karina, another great viewer of the channel, says, trivia fact, the house they were captured in is situated at the same farm they filmed Daddy Sing Bass, which I haven't gotten to yet, and Jeff, his Country Roads, A Man of Constant Sorrow. I just filmed Man of Constant Sorrow yesterday, and I asked in the video, where did they shoot this? So this is perfect, great information here, Karina. I personally like to watch Mission Impossible Jingle Bells, not in this storyline yet. Similarities, and then their 21 Pilots mashup they did with Hugo Schneider. I don't know where the idea came from, but in a web chat a while back, I'm sorry I misspeak as much, guys. This whatever I got going on up here is affecting my cognition, unfortunately. a while back, Jeff commented that Caesar hadn't been kidnapped yet. That's when Caesar said he hadn't done the Chicken Song road trip either. Gotcha. Jillian Drysdale, another great viewer of the channel, says, nope, no sequel, at least not officially. Some viewers have speculated that they all died except Earl, and that led into Queen's 5-minute video. Gotcha. Yeah, I think I remember somebody saying that now that you mentioned it, Jillian. Alona Dever, another great viewer of the channel, says, when voice play goes all weird, it's just weird and amazing. They did not do a follow-up. We don't know if Jeff was cutting the right wire. I, too, had no knowledge of the music they were doing. The arrangements allowed them to flow from one to the next. Earl has a great voice. Hearing that highest note so crisp was great. Horror movies, not my thing. Me either. Nightmare Before Christmas, not my thing, which I actually do. I think we've talked about this before. If it wasn't voice play, I would never have thought to listen to any of these, but I did, and I do. Great reaction, Cole. Keep them coming. Thank you, Alona. Appreciate that. Will do. Veronica Thunder, another great viewer of the channel, says, I'm not super familiar with Billy and even less with Panic, but as always, I think voice play sounds great. I agree with that. I'm not familiar with either one of them very much, all as far as their catalog, not that I don't know who they are. I heard a reactor who's very familiar with Billie Eilish say that it was a great mashup. For example, that they sometimes have the tempo harmonies of one song with the melody of another, yet it sounds so right. Makes me wish I was more familiar with the originals as well in order to be able to appreciate voice play's creativity even more. Thank you for this one, Cole. By the way, there still are no links to your music in the description. Yeah, Veronica, I know I keep forgetting. I'm a terrible marketer. What can I say? I've got to do that. I really need to do that. A few people said that they were glad that I reacted to those 3 videos together. Thank you. That was all suggestions from subscribers, from viewers, from patrons. So all the credit goes to them. Music Loving Nurse, another regular viewer of the channel, says, I'm not sure if we truly ever know if Jeff cut the correct wire, but speculation is that The Queen in 5 Minutes is a sequel if the bomb exploded because Earl was right next to him. Right. So was Lane, but we don't know the projection of the explosive device. So maybe Earl took the brunt of it. In real life, Earl did have health scare, so there is also speculation that Queen in 5 Minutes came about due to that. Either way, if I'm in the mood to listen to those, I add the Queen medley and the Billy Panic mix just to round out the story in my mind. Gotcha. Wildcat 101, another regular review of the channel, said Kathy helped Jeff make a full-length video of Trapped using his son's stuffed animals as stand-ins for all the guys so they wouldn't forget any shots he wanted to get while they were shooting on site. Nice. He posted on Patreon for us to see. I bet that was a treat. Nerdy Wordy Princess 84 says, I like to joke that it was Kathy who chose the tied up theme because it was the only way to ensure that all the boys would be where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to. It's great. Shirley Carr, another regular viewer of the channel, says, Jeff said in the chat that Lane has started his pitch for a video idea with We're Tied Up, and so many times it's become a running joke. Lane wanted them tied up in true colors too, but the other guys talked him out of it. Gotcha. All right, on the Gordon Lightfoot video, Pushpack, another regular viewer of the channel, says, Gordo, the Bob Dylan of Canada. Great comparison. Beth Tarr says the date of the Edmund Fitzgerald Saint was November 10th, 1975. The song was released in 76, very timely. Gordon painted such a vivid and haunting picture of the tragedy. I was 10 when it came out. I was in my 20s before I found out he was singing of a true sinking and 29 lives lost. This was his biggest hit on the Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 2 in November 1976. Never fails to give me chills all these years later. Bless you, Mr. Lightfoot, for sharing your gift of music and words with the world, and arguably one of the best songwriters in my time. Very well put. Thank you for sharing that, Beth. Wolfie Wolf says, your background shelf shows the Beatles, Roy Orbison, and should very well now have Gordon Lightfoot up there. My eyes could not get any wider when you mentioned that you had not heard of Gord before. Actually, I didn't say I hadn't heard of him. I said I had not heard his music. I knew who he was. To my knowledge, I never heard anything that he had done, or if I did, it didn't resonate with me at the time. This would have been, years ago at some points in my life. So, just to clarify, I did know who he was, just had never listened to him. And it's many such cases with musicians. Being from Canada, there's a warmer connection with every single song this man wrote. I feel to be the greatest songwriter in all Canadian history. Bob Dylan could not have been more correct. There is not a song I do not like. That's what Bob Dylan said. The Great Lake they call Gitchigumi, named with respect from the Ojibwe natives. If I mispronounced that, my apologies. Lake Superior is the largest, cleanest freshwater lake left in the world. Respect for this lake is not ever to be underestimated. At 17 years old, summer 1975, this massive lake at that time was at a sea state 4, just months prior to the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I suppose developing my sea legs during that period, also being ex-Canadian military sailor, Lake Superior is the only body of water I had ever got seasick my whole life. Wow, that is some great info. I appreciate that, Wolfie Wolf. That was good stuff. And we also had a bunch of people mention, I asked about Gitchigumi because I know that phrase from the Song of Hiawatha by Longfellow. I have a bit of an English literature background. an English/literature background, so I was familiar with that, but I never, if I knew what it was referring to at some point in the past, I had forgotten. So I asked that in the video, and there's some folks, I have to move my screen again, some folks answering that, and I appreciate it. And a lot of folks also said that the Maritime Sailors Cathedral rang the church bell 30 times on May 2nd, 2023, 29 for the sailors and 1 for Gordon. Wow. Many commenters also provided historical information and our personal memories associated with the song, and we greatly appreciate each of those. This is my comment monitor. Let me know this. I had seen some of them whenever I'd gone there to respond to a few personally. Rocco Classico says in an interview, Lightfoot said that his melody was inspired by an Irish dirge that he heard when he was a young child. He also said that he collected as many magazine newspaper articles about the wreck that he could, so he could be as accurate as possible in the lyrics. Nice. 5 Rounds Rapid says at 37 seconds, it's similar to the Guess Who because he was a good friend of theirs. They were the 2 biggest Canadian acts of that era. Rest in peace, Gordon. Yeah, I mentioned that in the video. I heard some similarities and speculated that. Tucker Lutter says the Guess Who was directly influenced by Gordon Lightfoot, and they even made a song called Lightfoot. Nice. I'm not familiar with that one. I have gotten. I'm just going to move this over a little bit here. Sorry about this, guys. And I do, for those, if you're just now watching this, your first comment video, this is a little bit more laid back than our regular reaction videos. And it's really just made for our regular viewers, regular subscribers. Andy Gossert said he was long considered the Canadian counterpart of Bob Dylan in folk circles. Renee Iyer says Gordon was folk rock, but he was very talented in making his voice portray the image his songs were portraying. As you said, this one gave the sea shanty sound, another one of the songs, Minstrel of the Dawn. He gives off a very Renaissance minstrel vibe. If you could read my mind, he introduces a bit of a gothic sound, yet all these are still pure 70s folk rock. It's great. Sounds like a great analysis there. Quijano Guillermo says he was Bob Dylan's favorite songwriter. Billy Joel wrote She's Always a Woman, hoping Gordon Lightfoot could sing it. I know that song title. I couldn't tell you. I probably have actually heard the song. I mentioned this on another video that I'm not really big into Billy Joel's catalog. My wife is, and I should get into him for sure. And he had the best line of any song ever. The thing that I call living is just being satisfied that I have no one else to blame. That's nice. Surprised when someone says, I don't know who GL is, loss of credibility. Okay. I guess this sounded like a little bit of a dig there at me at the end, but once again, I never said I didn't know who he was. I just said was not familiar with his catalog. So, two different things. Nature and Physics said, let it be known Gordon Lightfoot passed away while he had show dates on the books, a true working musician doing what he loved. Wow. Wanda Mundy says, Bob Dylan said that what he disliked most about Gordo's songs was that they ended. Nice. And it was Dylan, a good friend, who inducted him into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. Great info. Appreciate that. Keep Grinding Up says Gordon Lightfoot died never having written a bad song. Bob Dylan. Wow. I guess that was Bob Dylan's statement on there. On our Ed Sheeran copyright lawsuit video, Grace Parker, another regular viewer of the channel, says, I love this. It's a complicated issue to be sure, and I agree with you nearly 100%. The judge needs to be someone who actually not only understands the law and that criteria, but has the ability to see the musical side of the deal as well. There are 100 different ways to actually figure this one out. I always love the game Guess That Song. Listen to the first 10 notes of most songs. You will not only find that they have a lot in common, but that you aren't always right. There will always be those that think they are entitled to more than their fair share of things. In the end, greed isn't good. Marvin Gaye is gone. If the co-writer is broke, you can only imagine it's why they are suing. And I think it's the co-writer's estate. I think the co-writers also passed away. To get something for nothing, but then supposedly that's called capitalism. Yeah, right. Yeah. Carol Burnett. Carol, once again, another great viewer of the channel, says, thanks for sharing this. It's both complicated and concerning. I don't see how anyone could possibly write a piece of music without inadvertently copying something. I will say, though, that my first thought was Home Free did a mashup of the two songs 8 years ago. Yeah, I actually saw that. That came up as a suggestion after I had done reaction to Rick's. Pam Forrester, one of our greatest viewers of the channel, says, thank you for untangling this mess. Seems lawyers can take a simple problem and turn it into nuclear physics. Appreciate you explaining it in down-to-earth terms. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for watching that video. That was actually... That's my favorite kind of content to do, like take something, an article or something that's current in the news, and react to that. But unfortunately, very few people seem to really want to watch that on our channel yet. So I've only done a few of those. I think I've only gotten 2 out, and I got one that's set to come out. It's on a John Fogerty top 10 list. But anyway, I'd like to do more of this type of content if there's an audience for it. Valencia the Queen, another regular viewer of the channel, says, I agree with you. If they win, artists like Beyonce better look out. Her last album has borrowed melodies from several songs of the 80s and 90s. Many such cases. Dagmar S., another great viewer of the channel, says, I saw this in the news recently about Ed Sheeran. Copyright lawsuits in the music industry have been going on for a long time. One of the most famous is George Harrison's My Sweet Lord and the Chiffons Heat So Fine. That's right, I forgot about that one. George lost the case and agreed to pay. Interestingly, Home Free does a mashup of Ed Sheeran's song, Thing Out Loud, and Marvin Gaye's Let's Get Home because they fit together. So, well, yeah, somebody else mentioned that, and I said I'd seen that. But, yeah, the George Harrison, again, My Sweet Lord, He's So Fine, I think that was ludicrous. Same thing with, particularly, I'm a big Fogerty guy, big Creedence Clearwater Revival guy. The first lawsuit Fogerty was ever involved in, the first of many, was when the copyright owners of Good Golly Miss Molly sued him for Traveling Band just because he was trying to write a song in the vein of classic 50s rock and roll, which is only 3 chords. And they really share no similarities other than they're both 50-style rock and roll songs with those 3 chords. So, and I'm pretty sure they lost or either settled out of court and paid him a bunch of money. Elizabeth Ross says, very interesting. Thanks for sharing and explaining. Eric Carmen got in trouble in 1975 for basing All By Myself on a Rachmaninoff concerto, that's not copyrighted, I believe. One of my classical composer idols. I still love Eric's take on it. A beautiful song. I don't believe Eric got much, if any, gain from it. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Interesting. Quatman says, Vanilla Ice nipped the highly recognizable bass chord progression of Bowie's Under Pressure and claimed it wasn't the same because they added a hi-hat. Luckily, the music industry will be dead for karaoke singers and cover singers. For musicians, it is a call to action to start making good music again. I don't necessarily disagree with that. And yeah, the Vanilla Ice, I believe it. That was a rip, but it's kind of ridiculous because he's like, no, their bass line is, and then mine is, and he does it like one little minor note off. I feel like that was a total rip. I really do. This is a different case though for me. But I do say it is a call for musicians to start making good music again. But the problem is, good music is often going to be repeating good music that has come before it. All right, and answering comments video that we did Monday because we didn't get last week out. A lot of our regular viewers said that they enjoy or prefer watching commenters with musical background. Was a question I asked in that video. Nighthorn Kavala says you should show Mycroft. That's my cat. He's probably he's over there with the other cat under the chair, chillaxing. Says you should show Mycroft Austin Brown's video for What a Wonderful World. Dog, Titus, and Coda make their appearances. Nice, gotcha. On the copyright claim dispute video from last week, Karina says, thanks for doing these tutorials. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. Again, I love doing that kind of content as well, but so far it hasn't really caught on with this channel, maybe in the future. Pam, once again, Pam says, appreciate all the work you do even more. Sounds like you have to have a law degree to diplomatic license to be a YouTube reactor. You're not far off, Pam. It sounds like a contest to see how many steps you have to take before you can create content. You must have the patience of Job. Well, I'm telling you, Pam, it's ridiculous. Hoping it gets less complicated for everyone. Thank you for the video explaining the process. Thanks for watching, Pam. Appreciate that. And finally, on the Metallica Fade to Black video, Chris says, with beard equals Bear Grylls. That's when I had my beard. Without beard equals DJ Qualls. That's great. That's great. That's one of the best comments forever. And I see why the comment monitor put that one at the bottom and put it all in big type there. And on that, we'll close it. Thank y'all for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I figure most of you have. Most people probably haven't even made it to the end of the video. I know I've got some reviews that do, and for those, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider supporting us on Patreon so we can continue to make this reaction content. And we'll see you soon.